My parents had split up ages ago, but when my mom passed away, Dad brought me to live with him and my brothers. Hi, I'm Aurora. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The first time I walked in, I saw a guy fixing the light in the living room. Hey, I'm Aurora. And you are? He shot me a glance, then said flatly,
Arthur.
And that was it. He went right back to work like I wasn't even there. Embarrassed, I dragged my suitcase upstairs. On the way past the kitchen, Arthur was cooking. How was he? In 2 places at once. A toy plane flew straight into my forehead, knocking me to the ground. When I looked up, I nearly fainted. 3 Arthurs were staring at me. That's when I learned the truth. They weren't clones. They were my triplet brothers, Arthur, Albie, and Andrew. All right, time to introduce myself. I'm Aurora, your younger sister. They just looked at me like I was some stranger barging into their house.
You can stay here. Just don't bother us.
Yeah, not exactly a warm welcome. At dinner, the 3 of them sat across from me like we were from 2 different planets. They looked and acted exactly alike. While I couldn't have felt more different, I copied them, spreading blue cheese on bread, took 1 bite and almost gagged.
Don't try to.
I wasn't faking, I just wanted to find something in common. It took me a while to tell them apart. Arthur was the tough martial artist, Albie was quiet and a great cook, and Andrew was the Shark Tech guy. But no matter how hard I tried, they stayed distant. Honestly, I felt pretty lost. One afternoon, I caught Arthur staring across the street. His eyes were locked on a girl in the tailor shop. You like her, don't you?
None of your business.
Busted. His face said it all. Embarrassed, he walked off, but I ran after him. Want me to help you talk to her?
You could really do that?
Trust me. So I pretended to be a customer. After a little small talk, I got close to Daisy, the shop owner, and learned her type: gentle, smart, skillful. Meanwhile, the only image in my head was Arthur punching a sandbag like a maniac. Yeah, not exactly her dream guy. This was gonna be tricky. That's when I got a wild idea. Andrew could pose as Arthur. With his charm, this would be a piece of cake. It took a lot of begging, but he finally said yes. Probably more for Arthur than for me. I watched Daisy leave her shop and gave Andrew a push, just like in a rom-com. A bump, an apology, and boom, they started talking. Things were looking good, so I texted Andrew to grab a bouquet for her. He quickly made up an excuse and slipped away. But out of nowhere, a creep showed up and started harassing Daisy. What the fudge? Andrew still wasn't back. While I was panicking, Arthur came charging in like a storm and taught that thug a lesson.
Are you okay?
I'm fine, thank you. Your hand's hurt though. Come by my place. I'll bandage it.
Mission accomplished. Arthur got close to Daisy, and it wasn't through some stand-in. That's when Andrew rushed back, panting, bouquet in hand. I tugged his arm. Let's go. Our work here is done. Andrew said he had to head to the lab, so I walked home alone. On the way, I spotted Albie working at a restaurant. It looked like he was working here. I noticed he was doing everything while the others just stood around. When he accidentally spilled a glass of water, the manager chewed him out like he wanted to humiliate him in front of everyone. Yeah, he was clearly being bullied. I waited until his shift ended. Late that night, Albie came out looking exhausted. I handed him a cold drink.
Why are you here?
Saw you working, so I thought I'd wait and walk you home. It didn't say much, so we just walked in silence until I broke it. Your job doesn't seem great. I mean, your coworkers.
My manager hates me. He sets me up just to mess with me. But it's fine. I can take it for my dream of opening a restaurant. This is nothing.
Maybe it was nothing to him, but not to me. I couldn't just let it slide. When I got home, I told Arthur and Andrew everything and pitched a plan. Arthur would pretend to be Albie and give that jerk manager a taste of his own medicine. The next morning, Arthur walked into the restaurant wearing Albie's uniform. While Albie and I hid outside, eavesdropping. The manager started barking orders right away.
Don't forget to clean the entire shop, and the bathroom too. Hurry up, we're opening soon.
I'm the chef. My job's to cook cleanings for the janitor.
How dare you talk back to me? You need to be taught a lesson.
He swung at Arthur, but Arthur dodged easily, his martial art moves sending the guy crashing to the floor.
Remember this, I'm not someone you can push around.
I'm sorry, I won't do it again.
Seeing his pale face, Albie and I couldn't hold back our laughter. The next day, Albie came home grinning.
The manager got fired. Everything he did to me was caught on camera. Aurora, Arthur, thank you both.
It's thanks to Aurora. She's helped us a lot. Sorry for how I treated you before.
No worries, we're family, right? And just like that, the distance between us started to melt away. For the first time, it felt like we were becoming a real family. Later, I reached for the TV remote, but couldn't find it. Suddenly, a robot rolled over and handed it to me.
My new invention. I'm entering it in the robotics contest.
I believe in you. You're totally winning first prize. On the day of the contest, I showed up to cheer Andre, but he was nowhere to be found. Then a contestant named Ben walked onto the stage and started presenting his invention. My eyes went wide. Holy guacamole! The robot standing in front of him, that was Andrew's creation. I didn't even think. I just marched straight up onto the stage. That belongs to my brother, not you.
What nonsense are you spouting? Someone get her out of here.
You're a fraud. Just then, someone grabbed my arm. It was Andrew.
Stop. Aurora, let's go.
He pulled me off stage and straight outside. What's going on? Why does Ben haven't your robot?
What's done is done. Just let it go.
No matter how I pressed him, he wouldn't say another word. Because of me, the contest turned into total chaos and had to be postponed. That night, Dad stormed home, livid.
Aurora, do you have any idea what you've done?
I just stood there, totally clueless about what was going on. What do you mean?
Because you embarrassed Ben. His father fired me.
But Ben stole Andrew's invention.
Andrew agreed to give it to him.
He pressed his lips together, saying nothing.
Everything was perfect. I was about to get promoted and you ruined it all. Get out of this house. I don't want to see you again.
I never agreed to do that. You forced me to give up my invention just so you could climb the ladder. You never cared about how I felt.
You've never cared about us. It's only since Aurora came that this place has felt like a home.
If you kick Aurora out, we're leaving too.
So, we moved into the small house where Mom and I used to live. It wasn't big, but it was warm. I caught the boy staring quietly at Mom's photo on the table. Mom always missed you guys, but Dad never let her see you.
So it wasn't Mom who abandoned us.
We hated her. All these years thinking she left. That's why we hated you too. We were so stupid.
My heart ached for them. They'd grown up with no mother and a father who never cared. No wonder it was so hard. But now we've got each other. Let's make this home a happy one. I encouraged Andrew to enter the robotics contest again. His talent deserved to be recognized. Meanwhile, Albie started his own restaurant, and I helped him out whenever I could. For a while, things felt peaceful, until trouble walked right in. Then he came to the restaurant, ate, then claimed he found a cockroach in the food total cap. Everything Albie cooked was spotless.
I've got video proof. If you don't want me posting it online, we can make a deal.
What do you want?
Steal Andrew's design for me.
So that was his plan all along. If I refused, Albie's restaurant would be ruined. The day of the contest, Ben strutted on stage with his robot, but when he commanded it to bring him water, the robot tossed the drink right in his face. The whole audience burst out laughing. Yep, I'd given him Andrew's design, just with a few tiny numbers. Switched around, the robot started shaking, then froze completely. Andrew ended up taking first place, and the crowd went wild. Ben, on the other hand, couldn't handle it. His face turned red, and he came charging straight at me.
You're the one who rigged this, aren't you?
Before his hand could reach me, another hand grabbed his wrist. It was Dad. I froze in shock.
Don't you dare touch my daughter.
He stepped onto the stage, voice steady and clear for everyone to hear.
At the last contest, I was the one who gave Andrew's design to Ben. I'm ashamed of what I did. I'm sorry for the damage I caused.
The truth was out. People started booing Ben, calling him out right there in front of everyone. His glare burned into me.
Just wait. I'll make sure your little restaurant go down with me.
Oh, really? You mean the part where you planted that cockroach in our food? Yeah, that's on video. I pulled out my phone and showed him one of our regulars had been vlogging and caught his dirty trick on camera. Once I post this, the whole world will see exactly who you are. When we left the hall, Dad was waiting by the gate.
After our fight the other night, I thought long and hard. I realized I've been a terrible father. I'm sorry. Please give me a chance to make it right.
Honestly, what he'd just done on stage already spoke louder than words. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is owning up and fixing them. Hi, my name is Allison, but everyone calls me Allie. Please like and subscribe. Growing up, my parents were real-life superheroes. They didn't fly or shoot laser beams out of their eyes, but they saved lives daily. They both worked for Doctors Without Borders, and they traveled to remote villages worldwide to provide the best medical care. Sometimes they'd even fall sick themselves, but that never stopped them from helping people. And I wanted to be just like them. Once, When I was 6, my nanny took me to the park and I saw a little girl crying. She told me her puppy got off its leash and ran away. I felt so bad for her that we stayed there for 4 hours looking for it until we finally found it.
Thank you so much. You're my hero.
I felt so proud to be like my parents, even if it was just a little. And growing up, I took every opportunity to do so. Other than the fact that my parents were gone for months, my life was kind of perfect, and I had everything I could ever want. But in the 10th grade, everything changed forever. One afternoon, I was in my room watching some Avatar World videos on YouTube when my parents returned from a trip to Venezuela. As I hugged them, I noticed a girl my age standing behind them. She was small and thin, and she held a cane as a walking stick. She also wore very large headphones and looked bored. My parents welcomed her in and then turned to me.
Honey, this is Gabriella from Venezuela. We adopted her. She's your new sister.
We know this will be an adjustment, but just think of this as the new chapter for us as a family.
What the heck? An adjustment? This was a bombshell. You didn't think to mention it before now?
¿Qué está diciendo? Habla demasiado rápido.
Does she speak any English? How am I supposed to, talk to her?
Puedo dibujarle un dibujo si eso ayuda.
She wants to draw you a picture.
Listo. La niña soy yo y la vaca eres tú.
She pointed to the cow and then to me. Then she pointed to the girl and back at herself. Did she just call me a cow?
No, she's just excited for you guys to play with each other.
We didn't even have an extra room, so it turned out she'd be sharing mine. My parents had lost their minds. Here, you should take my bed, and the mattress might not be that comfy.
Gracias, hermana. Si estás incómoda, ni me importa.
You're welcome, I guess. On Monday, my parents enrolled Gabriella in my school. I had to babysit her the entire day. I was late to every class because she couldn't walk very fast, and explaining the situation repeatedly to the teachers was exhausting. It was also hard to communicate with her, and at home, sharing a room with her was awful. I had no privacy and she snored. I hugged my pillows around my head, but nothing helped. I wanted to scream. When I couldn't take it anymore, I went downstairs to sleep on the couch. I was just about to doze off when I got a text from my boyfriend, Trevor.
Hey, want to go out for a walk? I'm outside.
We'd met a couple of months ago when we signed up for a karate class, and we'd been inseparable ever since. I quickly got dressed, making sure to be as quiet as a mouse and not wake up anyone. Then I slipped out the window and ran down the driveway. As soon as I saw him, I jumped into his arms. You will not believe the day I've had.
Try me.
We began walking down the street, hand in hand, and I told him everything. By the time I finished my rant, he hugged me and offered to translate for me at school to make things easier with Gabriella. At least someone was on my side. When I got home, I was relieved that everyone was still sound asleep. I peeked over at Gabriella, and I noticed some papers lying underneath the bed. When I checked them, I saw she'd worked on some pretty advanced math equations. She even scribbled out the parts where the teachers had made mistakes. Wow, this girl was a genius! Suddenly I had an idea. The school hosted a huge math quiz competition, and the grand prize was a full scholarship to university. If she won this, she'd be set for life. And if I helped her, maybe we'd be on better terms with each other. The next day I signed her name up and looked for her everywhere to tell her the news. I finally found her on the playground with Trevor. When I came over, Trevor put his arm around me and suddenly her face dropped. Okay, good. You've met, babe. I need you to tell her some amazing news for me. I excitedly told him everything, and before he even finished translating, Gabriella exploded.
¿Estás loca?
Wait, was she mad? Why are you butting into my business? Shut the front door. So wait, you suddenly speak perfect English? Why have you been trying to lie to us this whole time? Gabriella suddenly looked so mean.
Just to bother you, because I can, and how dare you sign me up for something without even asking me?
I was just trying to do something nice for you.
Well, stop! I don't need anything from you.
With that, she stormed off and I was shocked. I tried to tell my parents that she'd lied about not knowing English, but they were so in love with her. They didn't believe me.
Come on, honey. Why would she do that?
I know it's hard for everyone to adjust, but try and be more cooperative, please.
Are you freaking kidding me? Whenever she was around them, she acted all sweet and innocent, but every time they left the room, she was a totally different person.
Your parents didn't believe you, did they? Gosh, they're so stupid!
Hey, you don't talk about them like that. After everything they've done for you.
So what? Now there's some kind of heroes, and I should worship them for saving a poor little girl like me? Well, I didn't ask for it. They just did it to feel good about themselves.
As she walked off, I was stunned. This girl was really something, and she seemed to hate us all. I had to find a way to show my parents the truth. At school, I noticed that Gabby would often sneak off during lunch, so I decided to follow her one day and see what she was up to. I found her sitting in the music room by the piano. She was playing a soft tune, and I had to admit she was really good. That's beautiful.
What do you want?
Answers mostly. An apology would be nice too.
You're not getting one. Can you please leave me alone?
Why are you hiding out here?
It's quiet and people don't stare at me or pity me.
Just then, she winced in pain and I saw her rubbing her leg. Does it hurt a lot?
All the time, but I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, fine. And listen, I'm sorry for butting in about this competition, but I've seen your work and you could actually win this thing. Think about your future. Don't do it for anyone else.
Why do you even care?
Believe it or not, but I think we're a lot alike. We're both stubborn, headstrong, and not easily scared of a challenge. In a perfect world, we might actually be friends.
I doubt it, but I guess getting some independence won't be so bad for me.
You've got nothing to lose, right? When the competition came around, Gabriella aced it. She solved all the questions and left everyone else in the dust. My parents, Trevor, and I cheered her on happily as she received her award. And later at dinner, Gabriella even confessed about lying to everyone.
I'm really sorry for not being honest. I don't know what came over me.
Although Mom and Dad were shocked to hear her perfect English, they accepted her apology happily. They also apologized to me, and I felt so relieved. The next week at school, she was on cloud 9. Everywhere we went, people complimented her. I even noticed her flirting with the school's heartthrob at lunch. I was glad her confidence was so much better. Even though I'd noticed she'd been limping more lately, everything seemed to be going smoothly until one day when I was heading to class and I overheard the guy laughing with his friends.
Being with Gabs is so cool. She's super nice and everything. But what's really cool is that she's doing all of my assignments for me. I'm getting A's for the first time ever. Ha 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 ha.
Dude, that's awesome. Maybe I should flirt with her too.
That no good dirtbag. I needed to tell Gabby before she got hurt. I found her in the library, and to my shock, she was sitting there doing his homework. You need to throw that in the trash. That guy is no good.
¿Qué?
I overheard the jerk bragging to his friends about how he's got you doing all his homework.
So I want to help him. He's nice and I like him.
He's just using you, Gabby. You can't let him treat you this way.
Are you telling me he's too good for someone like me and he couldn't possibly like me for me?
No, but that's not what
Because I'm the freak with a disability, right?
Why would you even think that? I've been trying every day to bond with you, but you're so difficult. What is your problem?
Everything. I hate it here. I'm just this charity case you parade around to tell people how good you all are. You don't really understand me, and I wish I'd never come here.
I couldn't believe her after all this time. I thought we'd gotten past that, but I guess not. Well, if you're so miserable, then go. Who's stopping you? Nobody. Suddenly, Gabriella began to cry, and before I could say anything else, she stormed off. I tried looking for her once I'd cooled down, but I couldn't find her anywhere. I called Trevor, and when I told him what had happened, he came over immediately. I went too far, and I didn't mean it really. She's just so frustrating.
I think she's just hurting a lot more than she's letting on. Let's go find her.
We searched for hours all over the neighborhood. Soon it started to rain like crazy, and I was so worried about her. But we finally found her sitting in the park. She was drenched and shivering like crazy, so I quickly wrapped my jacket around her. I'm not sure what's going on with you, but I think it has less to do with me and more to do with this. I picked up her cane. Gabby looked at me with tears in her eyes.
It's so unfair. I'll never be a normal girl like you.
That's not true. Whatever's going on, Gabby, we will handle it together as a family.
Why would you even want me? I'm just a big mess. That's why no one's ever wanted me.
We want you, stupid, but you have to stop pushing us away.
I'm not getting any better. I'm just a huge burden.
No, you're not. You'd know that if you took a second to get to know us. Please, just come home. I held out my hand to her, and when she took it, I hugged her tight. We're a family now. Get used to it. The next day, we took her to the hospital, and after many tests, Gabby was diagnosed with a rare muscle condition. The doctor started her treatment, and she had to be at the hospital for a few weeks. I stayed by her bedside every day, refusing to go home until she did.
Don't worry, baby. We'll make sure Gabby gets the best possible treatment. She's going to be fine.
She still needed months of physiotherapy, but we could finally take her home. Mom and Dad had decorated the living room with a huge sign that said, "Welcome home." Trevor was also there, and a few friends she'd made at school. Gabby looked so shocked when she saw everyone, and I could tell that she hadn't expected such a big welcome.
Thank you all for this. I guess I will just have to learn to live with you all being so annoyingly affectionate.
Ha ha ha. Yeah, that's how we roll, and you're stuck with us for good now. I think I like the sound of that very much.
Hi, I'm Grace from London. Please like and subscribe. When I was little, my mom worked for this rich woman who was the third cousin of the daughter of the king. The rich woman had a fabulous life. She and her daughter Gigi, who was my age, lived in a beautiful mansion. They went to the spa every week and on vacation every weekend. But the only thing was that the paparazzi never left them alone. They camped in front of the house and hid in the trees to get a glimpse of Gigi and her mom. Gigi and I looked alike, so I'd often pose as her decoy. I'd walk out the front door in her fancy clothes and smile for the paparazzi, while Gigi snuck out the back into a tinted SUV and speed off. Life was great until Gigi and her mom moved back to their family and Mom lost her job. We moved into a tiny house and Mom had to work 2 jobs just to afford the rent. I hated being poor. It caused my mom to get off work really late, so I decided I had to be rich one day. I worked harder than ever in school so I could get a good job and make a ton of money. Then one day I was called into the principal's office and she gave me the best news ever.
Congratulations, Grace. You've been awarded a scholarship to one of the most prestigious private schools in the city.
I was over the moon, but there was one big problem. My new school was filled with rich kids. There was no way I was going to fit in. That night I had nightmares about them laughing at me and chasing me through the halls. The next morning, I woke up and prayed that I could win $1 million. And then the craziest thing happened.
I talked with your Aunt Maddie. She lives near your new school. You'll be staying with her so I can save some money.
I jumped for joy. I just hit the jackpot. Aunt Maddie was a filthy rich lawyer. She was so generous that she'd recently adopted a daughter my age. That evening, Aunt Maddie's chauffeur picked me up in a limousine and drove me to her mansion. My adopted cousin Victoria greeted me at the door. She looked like a supermodel, aside from these huge glasses that were way too big for her face. Victoria took me to my room, and as I was unpacking, she kept staring at my clothes.
Whoa, what happened? I've seen homeless people wear better clothes.
I was so embarrassed I started crying like an idiot. They're all I have. I'm poor.
Oh, don't worry about it, Grace. I've got your back. You can borrow some of my clothes. I've got plenty.
Victoria led me to her room where she opened a walk-in closet twice the size of my mom's house. When we got to school, I strutted like a superstar down the hallway, and all the kids couldn't stop staring at me. In class, the teacher asked us all to introduce ourselves and share something interesting about our families. All the other kids came from wealthy families that owned huge business empires. Some even had parents who were famous celebrities. When the teacher asked me to introduce myself, I walked to the front of the class. I felt really nervous. I couldn't tell them about my poor single mom who worked as a janitor at a beauty salon and waited tables at a 2-star restaurant. Then suddenly, something strange came over me and the most unexpected words just the hell out of my mouth. Hi everyone, I'm Grace and I'm an heiress to the throne. Everyone in class stared at me like I was a unicorn. I took out my phone and flashed one of my photos from a magazine and the kids went wild. Victoria appeared out of nowhere and pulled me to the side.
Have you lost your mind? You're just told everyone a big fat lie.
My mind is right where it's supposed to be, if you must know. Plus, it's not really a lie.
You are Gigi stand-in. My mom told me all about it. You're stealing her identity.
I'm just borrowing it. She won't even notice. Victoria walked away that a bunch of popular kids ran over to me. My plan was working like a charm.
Are you really in line for the throne?
Yep, it's a very real possibility. Everyone in line before me is old and sick.
I thought you moved back to Europe.
That's fake news.
But aren't you living with Victoria?
Yes, my mother wants me to have a more grounded experience among commoners, but it's just temporary. Tata, sorry. No more questions today. Maybe we can have crumpets and tea later. Then Damien, the most beautiful boy I'd ever seen, patted me on my shoulder and my heart skipped a beat. His sparkly brown eyes and warm smile made my heart flutter.
Your Highness, would you do me the honor of coming to my party tonight?
Yes, please. That night, I raided Victoria's closet and found the perfect dress. I pranced around in the mirror, flashing flashed my prettiest smile and practiced kissing my hand.
What's up with you?
I told Victoria all about how Damien invited me to his party, and she looked pissed.
Don't you mention that jerk to me?
He's not a jerk. He's really cool, and he looks like an angel.
Listen, you'll have to regret it if you choose to hang out with that idiot.
Are you sure we're talking about the same guy? Damien's at the top of our class. He smells like fresh strawberries. He's super cute and the captain of the football team. He's perfect.
Never mind, I'm out of here.
Victoria stormed off in a huff, but I didn't have time to figure out. We'll put a bee and herb on it. I had to get to Damien's party, of course. Damien's party was awesome. We danced together for hours, and at the end of the night, he gave me the most romantic kiss.
You're amazing, Grace.
I know people tell me that all the time.
I've never met a girl like you before.
After that, Damien and I started dating and we became the hottest couple in school. My popularity was through the roof. Even Victoria stopped shaking a head at me every time we passed each other in the hallway. Life was great until things took a horrible turn. One day, one of the rich kids invited me to an exclusive restaurant. I was busy enjoying my caviar when I looked out the window and saw Victoria and Damien having a heated argument across the street. I was about to go out to snoop on them, but our waiter, Brian, this geeky kid from my math class, stepped into my path.
Excuse me, you forgot to pay for your food?
He gave me a bill of over $200. I was invited to this party.
And we've been told everyone is paying their bills separately.
So without thinking, I handed Brian my bank card.
I'm sorry, but your card has been declined.
That's impossible. I'm heir to $1 million fortune.
We also accept cash.
This is no way to treat royalty. I want to speak with your manager now. I dragged Brian to the side. I was so afraid he was going to call the cops on me that I decided to tell him the truth. Listen, there's no way I can pay all that money. Maybe we can work something out.
You rich kids always try to take advantage of people. Please pay so I can do my job. Aren't you from some royal family anyway?
I'm seriously not a rich kid. That was all a big lie. I just wanted to fit in. Suddenly, tears started streaming down my face.
Oh geez, please don't cry. Listen, I know what it's like to want to fit in with the rich kids. I'll put it on my tab, but you have to pay me back this month.
I was so relieved I felt like a huge weight had been lifted. I did. It was good to tell the truth, but then it hit me. If Brian exposed me, my fabulous life would be destroyed. Could you please keep my secret?
Sure, but only if you agree to tutor me. I'm kind of struggling with calculus, and I saw you got 100 on the test.
I happily agreed. By the time I was done with this drama, Victoria and Damien were gone, and neither of them answered their phones. I called my driver to take me home. I waited in my room for hours, but didn't hear a word from either of them. I was really curious about what they had been arguing about. About a few minutes after midnight, I woke up to hear a car pulling into the driveway. I looked out the window. It was Damien and Victoria was in the passenger seat. I saw red. I raced down the stairs and ran straight into Victoria. Why are you sneaking around with Damien?
We aren't sneaking around.
I saw you two arguing at the party.
It's complicated, and I'm really tired. Can we talk about it later?
It's not complicated at all. You're a jealous witch and a boyfriend stealer, and don't try to deny it. You hate that I'm more popular than you and that Damien's in love with me. Victoria marched to her room and slammed her door in my face. Something fishy was going on between those two, and I was going to find out what. The next day, I asked Damien about Victoria.
Don't worry about it, babe. She's my partner for a school project. We were only talking about that. You know, I only have eyes for you.
After that, Damien got really busy with football practice, so I focused on school and tutoring Brian. To my surprise, I enjoyed hanging out with Brian. She was smart and funny, and we were both huge fans of classical music. One night, he played one of Mozart's concertos on the piano for me. That was beautiful. I didn't know you were so talented.
I'm kind of a music prodigy. That's how I got a scholarship to our school.
A couple of weeks later, Brian aced his calculus test.
I'll be playing that piece you like and a new song I wrote for you.
You wrote a song for me? Brian blushed. And so did I.
It's a thank you for all you've done for me.
I wouldn't miss your concert for the world. That night, just as I was getting ready to go to the concert with Brian, Damien showed up in a tuxedo. What are you doing here?
You're funny. I told you I was picking you up.
Oh God, I totally forgotten that Damien had invited me to be a state for his family's annual charity ball.
Come on, we don't want to be late.
Damien took my hand and rushed me to his car. When we arrived at the ball, Damien's parents were excited to meet me. They spent the whole night introducing me to all their fancy friends and bragged about how their son had landed the heiress to a throne. I needed a breath of fresh air, so I went out into the back alley for a bit to find Damien and the school's head cheerleader kissing. When they saw me, they turned as white as bed sheets.
It's not what it looks like.
Actually, it is. Damien and I are in love.
I was going to tell you after the party. I just wanted to impress my parents by saying you were my girlfriend. You're their favorite royal, and they've been dying to meet you.
I slapped Damien hard in the face and stormed out of there. The next day, Brian marched up to me at school with a huge scowl.
I waited for you for over an hour and you didn't even call call.
I'm sorry I had another engagement.
Like what? Your fake royal duties? If you didn't want to go, you should have just told me. You didn't have to play with my feelings. I may not be one of the popular kids, but I don't deserve to be treated like trash.
Brian stormed off. I was gutted, and just when I thought the day couldn't get any worse, I got an alert on my phone. A gossip website had done a news report on me and outed me as a fraud. All the kids crowded around me like an angry mob. I ran outside and straight into a bunch of crazy paparazzi. They chased me through the parking lot. I darted down the street and jumped into a cab. "Get me out of here, please." The driver hightailed it out of there. When I got home, I raced up the stairs and locked myself in my room. Then suddenly, someone unlocked my bedroom door. I was panicking. The police would arrest me, and my mom would be so ashamed. Everything would fall apart. But in the end, thank goodness, it was just Victoria.
I told you all this would blow up in your face. The lying, and most of all, Damien.
Was he dating you too?
No, gross. Damien and I lived in the same foster home years ago. Damien hates that he was poor, and he won't tell anyone he's adopted, or that he and I know each other from a foster home. You're not that different. He just wants so bad to fit in.
That information nation hit me like a ton of bricks. At that moment, I decided to make a change. I apologized to Victoria and sent Brian a dozen I'm sorry memes. And I came clean to everyone at school. After that, everyone turned their backs on me. But I had Victoria, and I eventually made friends with some nice kids. Ryan and I started talking again after I offered to tutor him for free for a year. In the end, I realized that being a popular fake royal didn't hold a candle to being surrounded by friends that loved me for me.
People call me the Queen of Entertainment, a famous pop icon, a musical superstar. You can take your pick. As for me, I like to be called the Queen of Hearts. Hi, I'm Verosica Mayday, and I'm from Florida to overachiever parents who were super successful in their careers. Right, since I was a toddler, I loved to sing. Mom would sing me lullabies, and I'd sing along with her.
You have a beautiful voice, my baby. Just like an angel.
I'm not so sure I didn't get selected for the school choir.
Don't let that dishearten you, sweetheart, and have confidence in your talent. I'm sure you're meant for great things.
Although I loved singing, I was also fascinated by theater and acting. I performed on stage for the first time when I was 8 in a musical named Annie.
Are you nervous, Vero?
No, not at all. In fact, I can't wait to set the stage on fire. And I did just that. That musical was a great success, and it marked the beginning of my musical theater journey. After that, I performed in so many other local productions like Beauty and the Beast and The Wizard of Oz. Life was going smoothly, but then my parents got separated. I felt devastated for a while, but thank God I had my pet dogs to keep me going through the tough phase. Just so you know, I have 10 rescue pups. One of them is named Sirius Black. Yeah, I'm quite obsessed with Harry Potter. But then, aren't we all? So, by the time I turned 14, I decided I'd acted enough and now wanted to make a career in singing. I packed my bags and moved to Los Angeles to meet my managers. Guys, I think I want to make an R&B album.
That's a hell of a goal, but who do you think's gonna buy a 14-year-old's R&B album?
Well, that kind of made sense. So I went back to Florida and decided to focus on theater. For the time being, then when I was 15, I got chosen from among thousands of girls to play one of the main characters in a Broadway musical called 13, for which I later bagged a prestigious award. By this time, I had moved to New York, so I was missing school a lot. Mom, I want to continue performing. But what about studies? I want to finish high school at least.
Don't worry, sweetheart. Your school has agreed to send study material so you don't miss out on your studies.
That was pretty cool. I was studying and focusing on my career, even though I was miles away from home. Then in 2009, I bagged the role of an adorable goofball named Cat Valentine in the famous Nickelodeon TV show named Victorious. Since the show was set in a performing arts school, it gave me an opportunity to showcase my acting as well as my singing abilities on a national platform. Thanks to the show, I was suddenly a teen idol.
So, Verosica, what's next? Are you looking at a career in Hollywood?
To be honest, acting is fun, but music has always been first and foremost with me. I was determined to give singing a shot, so I kept uploading my videos on YouTube, where I sang covers of songs by Adele, Mariah Carey, and Whitney Houston. Meanwhile, the second season of Victorious premiered in 2011 to 6.2 million viewers, becoming the highest-rated episode of the show. Victorious ran for 3 seasons until it was finally wrapped up in 2013. Then one day I got the most unexpected call.
Hello, Verosica. I'm Monte Lipman,
CEO of Republic Records. I saw your YouTube videos, and I want to sign you up for the label. Are you interested?
Yeah, of course. I'd love that. I put down my phone and did a little happy dance. My music career was finally taking off. The next 3 years, I focused completely on my vocals and singing, and collaborated with many contemporary artists. The result was my first album, Yours Truly, that debuted at #1 on the US Billboard 200 Albums chart, and it sold 138,000 copies in its first week. After that, there was no looking back for me. Today, I've sold over 85 million records worldwide, broke 27 Guinness World Records as a singer, bagged 2 Grammys, and was listed among the 100 most influential persons in the world by Time magazine. So, friends, I hope my story inspires you to never give up on your dreams. Since miracles happen, just believe in yourself. Because if you don't, who else will?